Oh man, just had to, run that there. We're gonna keep this repeating in the background. What is good, everybody? My grinders, my believers, my achievers. Let's jump right into this. So, I've been out here dropping music for about 2 years. Probably been taking it a lot more serious. We can say the last 2 months or so. Right now, today is December 14th, December 15th, something like that, 2022. We really started dropping a lot of crazy music mid-October of this year, 2022. So just wanted to actually jump into this, actually give you a quick background about who I am, what I stand for, what I be doing with my day-to-day life, all those good things. So without further ado, let's just jump into it here. So anybody that is a fan of mine, subscriber, whoever's been following me, anything like that, they probably want to know, where I'm from. So let's get straight into that. Actually, your boy Derek the Westside Askew, out here from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, straight up the 610. Actually born in St. Luke's Hospital. So that's a little bit about where I'm from. In terms of Bethlehem, I actually grew up on Eastside Bethlehem until about 2005. In 2005, homies actually moved to the other side, West Side, Best Side, you already know. And that's kind of where I stayed from 2005 until I went to college out in Bloomsburg, all those good things. But that was from 2005 to 2012. But I like to go by the West Side because, that's where all my main homies is from. That's where my day ones is from. So that's why I go by the West Side and not the East Side. So a little bit about me here. So might ask, hey, what do you stand for? So to be honest with you, I really stand in, believing in yourself. And if you believe in yourself and you can achieve whatever you want, as long as you're willing to go put out the effort, put out, whatever grind you need to on whatever capacity for however amount of time, days, months, years, decades, or whatever the fuck it may be. That's what I stand for. Believing in myself, and supporting all my day one homies. All the grinders and believers and achievers out there. I want to support all of y'all as much as I can. But definitely supporting all my homies that I grew up with. And main reason why I want to do that and why I stand for that is because how I look at life is, if you don't really believe in the people that you came up with, the people that you call your homies, your day ones, if you ain't rocking with them and you call these your day ones, like, what are you really doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I feel about it. So for me, I definitely, stand for supporting all my day one homies. Like I said, I'm going to say that mad times. All my grinders, my believers, and my achievers out there, I'm a huge fan of yours. So, that's really what I stand for. Not saying I don't support, some of these famous celebrities, or I'm not a fan of some of these famous celebrities. But the reason why I really like to support my day one homies and the people I see grinding on a day-to-day basis is because, if I see that, you're just a person just trying to do what you're trying to do with your life, whether it be support your family, grow your career, or whatever it is, your charity, whatever it is, I can say, hey, I believe this person doesn't have any hidden agendas. They don't have any, angel investors pushing them to push a certain agenda, push a certain mission. Everything that they're doing, I would hope is, being 100% genuine, being themselves, because, at the end of the day, they're just doing what they want for themselves. So that's a little bit about what I stand for. So next thing here, what a lot of people want to know is, when did I start making music? So kind of a loaded question there. So I started making music, I'd probably say in 2018. That's when I got my first, a little bit of music equipment. But before I even got my equipment, I used to have a couple of different phones. So I had my old phone and I would record the lyrics with that or whatever I was spitting into that, and then I would use my main phone to write the lyrics. Then I would use my TV to actually play all the instrumentals or whatever, and I would just bullshit do that, record all my voice memos like that. And then I used to always send them to my one boy because me and him used to freestyle and shit back in college, and I sent stuff to him and he was like, yo bro, you've been sending me so many of these, you're sending me like multiple tracks a day, and these are just you just talking into like your voice memos app on your phone. So like, you know, we gonna link up, and you know, he was the first person who really, you know, pushed me to actually do something and everything like that. So I started taking it really serious probably in 2020. That's when I finally got my own equipment. You know, my boy gave me his mic and everything like that. So I was using, you know, that mic, you know, some basic interface, and my computer was just jumping on Logic Pro, you know, just clicking record and just talking. Didn't even really know how to engineer, nothing like that. I was just, you know, clicking plugins that I thought made sense. Looking back on it, made no damn sense. But that's, you know, different. So because of the whole, you know, everybody locking down and no one really working, whatever, I had so much time on my hands. So I was just sitting at the crib just writing, you know, 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 7 tracks in a single day. So that's really how I really got into doing the music thing. And I just pretty much was just recording everything and uploading them on a platform called AudioMac. Shout out to AudioMac. They not paying me for this video, by the way. Just wanted to let you know where I was uploading all my stuff. That was where I was, you know, because I could have as many uploads and pay for anything. So shouts in for that. And I was just putting every track, any track I ever recorded, any thought, any line, any bar, lyric, whatever. I was just recording it, throwing it on there. And, you know, then one day I looked at it, there was like hundreds of songs on there. I was like, holy shit. And, you know, it was just something I did on the back burner while I focused on my other business ventures and stuff like that. And then, you know, life happens and didn't really work out. So once I got to the dwindling of that venture, I was just like, you know, listen, man, you've been out here cutting tracks up every day consistently for the last 2.5 years or so. Why don't you just take this shit serious? So then, you know, I suppose that takes us to about mid-October of 2022. You know, dropped my first EP, Fantom of DA Ranger. I'll definitely put a link to that so you can see that as well. So right after that, maybe 2 weeks after that, dropped another single called Contemplated. My boy, The Token Sound, he's definitely got some fire beats. You definitely want to fuck with him. I'll find his profile, try to link him into the description as well once I'm done recording this here. So I had that. That was, I would say, the beginning of November. Then, you know, because I sat on it for so long, I had so much material and I had so much skills just built up from recording multiple tracks a day for the last couple of years. I then dropped another EP called Epik Tape. That's also streaming everywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. I'll also link that in the description there so you can also check that out. Then the beginning of December, that's when I dropped my first album called Boy Saying Shit. That fire, you know, that was produced with my man's Hunta. You know, definitely blessed with all of the beats, helping with the engineering too. So I'll link that album and also link his Instagram into the description as well, so you can check him out. Like I said, my man's is a wizard. He's a genius. Helped me so much with that album. Forever gonna be thankful and grateful to him for that as well. So that's a little bit about, you know, my music career to this point. Like I said, I'm pretty new at this. Really started taking it serious in October of 2022. So a lot of people, you know, want to know why people, you know, why do they get into music, stuff like that. So for me, the reason why I really started getting into music was, you know, with the lockdowns, I was, well, actually, let me backtrack. What really made me get into music is, you know, everyone loves music. And I used to listen to tracks, and I used to freestyle over other people's songs while I was by myself in the car, or I'd put on instrumentals and just start, you know, just spitting, freestyling, whatever. And, you know, I did freestyle with a couple of my homies and stuff like that, a couple of my fraternity brothers. Shout out to Delta Pi as well. And, you know, some of them were like, hey, man, you know, you're actually pretty good at this. You should try this. And then I was like, whatever, you know, I continued to push on the back burner. And then one day, you know, I was just like, yeah, let me, you know, try to record. And I was making a couple of songs. And one day with my boy Greg, like I mentioned earlier, he actually took me to my first studio ever. So we were in there, and I think he was just like, hey, bro, listen, we got like X amount of hours in the studio. We actually tried to make a song. We made one song, and then we had, I think, like 30 minutes left in our studio session. And I was like, hey, listen, let's just freestyle as many tracks as we can. So he was like, okay, go into the booth, recorded. I think we did like 8 tracks, 6 tracks. I don't even remember how many tracks, but we just did a bunch of tracks, straight freestyles, no rehearsing. We didn't edit anything out. We just went straight through. And he was like, yo, man, you really like, you kind of snapped for what you were given and, you know, with your experience level and stuff like that. So with that being said, you know, that was how I really got into music. Another reason why I got into music, my dad actually did kick some pretty dope freestyles. I heard him, you know, freestyle a few times. They were pretty dope. So I was like, all right. And then my mom, rest in peace, she used to always write a whole bunch of stuff in her notebooks, just expressing her feelings and stuff like that. So I was like, you know, my dad's pretty good at this, and my mom had a gift, in my opinion, in writing and stuff like that. So I figured, hey, this might be something that you might have an inclination for. And then as I kept doing it, kept making music, I started to really see my progression in it and how much I really enjoyed doing it. Just the dopamine was just unmatched. I just loved doing it. So that was, you know, what really got me into music. And I also noticed I was able to express a lot of my feelings way better in music than I am with my words when I'm just speaking in conversation here. So another thing here I have that people may want to know is, what is my favorite part of the process of making music? Because, yo, music is so beautiful. I just love, you know, the whole process. But definitely the writing of the words and the performance of how you're going to make the words come out, that's definitely my favorite part. But engineering, I love engineering. That shit is so fire. I mean, I'm getting better. I'm not amazing. I still have a lot of growth to have in that area. I mean, there's growth in every area. There is never no true piece of perfect art. You can keep going. So I definitely, you know, enjoy the engineering process, because, you know, nobody really wants to listen to something that doesn't sound clear, something that's not legible, not really looking to really listen to anything like that. So, you know, the engineering process is like right there, 1A, 1B kind of a thing. So next thing I have, you know, that, you know, a lot of people want to know is, you know, who were your biggest inspirations? So for me, my biggest inspirations when it comes to music is when I'm talking about like all-time greats and people who I really was influenced by, definitely Kanye West. You know, I've been listening to him forever. It's 2022, I've been listening to him since like 2003. You know, there's other people, but he's definitely the main famous person that really influenced me to really get into this. So other people that really inspired me to, you know, get into music was actually my cousin Terrance Lamont. That's his actual rap name, Terrance Lamont, and his homie Figgy Fargo. They're both fire. They're both ridiculously sharp, both ridiculously raw. I'm gonna try to link them in the description as well. Definitely check them out. Raw, like, to me, amazing, you know, artists. They really were big inspirations. I did a couple of freestyles with them way back. And, you know, so those are probably my other inspirations, who were probably more of an inspiration because I actually knew them. I went to the same school as they did, same middle school as they did, high school. So that definitely, those two were definitely huge influences on me as well. Then when it comes to my whole music and everything like that, and who were my biggest pillars, the people who helped me the most, like I said before, was my man Greg. You know, he was the one who he used to make beats, and I used to rap over his beats. He used to help me engineer. He actually gave me my first mic, which I'm actually still using to this day. Pretty sure I gotta get a new one, but, you know, he was definitely a huge influence for me in that. Helped me out a lot, showed me a lot of things. So, you know, he was definitely a huge influence. I mean, a huge supporter in my music. And then, of course, my wife, Kate, you know, just always just being there, always willing to, support me in everything that I was doing. So, you know, I definitely got to say shout out to my wife for, you know, being a real one and always just being down for helping me chase my goals and achieve my dreams. Why do I have my rap name? So my rap name is the Westside, DA, Westside. So really why that's how I came up with that is my name is Derek Askew. So and this was our DA. So it's like the Westside and Westside. Like I said, that's where all my day one homies are from. I still chop it up with them to this day. I've been cool with a lot of them for over 10 years now. Played football, played ball, ran track with these guys. So, you know, still, you know, almost all of them were at my wedding. So, you know, definitely that's why I picked that name. It's just, you know, just having my initials and just knowing, like I said, I want to support my day one homies. So I figured, you know, we're from the West Side, so why not make your name the West Side? So that's kind of, you know, why I had my rap name, and that's kind of how it came to be that. And then lastly, when it comes to music, obviously that's my favorite thing to do. But when I'm not doing that, I would say my favorite thing to do is definitely strengthening the bond with my wife. You know, that's a relationship where we committed our whole entire lives to each other. We pledged to be there for each other no matter what. You know, good times, bad times, all that kind of stuff. So how I look at it is, you know, that's the most important relationship I have in my life. So if I'm not investing in that, and if that's not strong, if that's not clicking, if that's not firing on all cylinders, then, you know, nothing else really matters. You know, I can't be sitting at the crib and have my crib at night when I lay my head down, there's all this turmoil and nonsense and all this junk. You know, if that relationship isn't good, then I don't see how anything else in my life could really flourish. So when I'm not, you know, wreaking havoc on these beats, you know, definitely love chilling with the wifey, learning, growing with her, figuring out how I can be a better person for her. Because I noticed the more I invest in her, the more I appreciate her, the more she invests in me, the more she appreciates me. And man, it's fucking beautiful. I just love, you know, our relationship. I love how we continue to progress. Even if it's feeling fucking amazing, we keep putting more and more into each other. And a week from today, a month from today, a year from today, it's gonna be even way more fire than it is right now. So that definitely is, you know, what I really fucks with when I'm not, you know, working on my music and stuff like that. So that's pretty much a summary of your boy Derek the Westside Askew. So definitely subscribe, definitely be on the lookout. You know, boy is always saying shit. We'll always be dropping no matter what. So just keep on the lookout. You're gonna keep seeing content from me. We never stop. All we do is grind, believe, and achieve, and keep stacking these wins. So let's keep fucking getting it. I'm out.